Number 4, Ali Azamarnu. Number 6, Matthew Marshall. Number 7, Carson Bushman Dorman. Number 10, Stasi Ahayo. Number 17, Oliver Herbert. Number 18, Sarub Sarub. Number 19, Ambrose Tinman. Captain, number 22, Nathan Walters. Number 95, Hot Tip. Head coach, Valley Bass. And now, we would like to introduce to you the starting lineup for your Burnaby FC. Number 31, Bennett McKay. Number 3, Ty Pound. Captain, number 5, Joe Zupo. Number 6, Joven Mann. Number 11, Emil Samabisi. Number 12, Dalen Felios. Number 14, Lachlan Will. Number 17, Aaron Culver. Number 18, Joey Buchanan. Number 20, Kyle Dent. Number 37, Stuart Leonard. Head coach, Todd May. Today's match will be officiated by referee Mo Masani, assisted by Chris Harrop, Olin Metz, David DePasquale. At this time, we ask you to please rise if you are able, and please remove your caps for the playing of the Canadian National Anthem.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Burnaby Lake Sports Complex in Burnaby, beautiful British Columbia. It's the second of our featured game double header today as Burnaby take on visiting Altitude from North Vancouver. I'm your match commentator Michael McCall. I'll have the call for you all afternoon long. Thank you for watching and supporting League 1 BC. We'll get straight into the starting lineups for the visit in Altitude, led by head coach Fally Bass. In goal, number 50, Luca Ortu. We'll give you the rest in numerical order. Number 3, Wiz Shavula. Number 4, Ali Azarmanu. Number 6, Matthew Marshall. Number 7, Carson Bushman Dormand. Number 10, Stasia Hale. Number 17, Oliver Herbert. Number 18, Cyrub. Number 19, Ambrose Tinmouth. Number 22, Nathan Walters. And number 95, Hauk Tippy. For Burnaby, led by head coach Todd May. In goal, wearing number 31, is Bennett Mackay. Number 3, Ty Pound. Number 5, Joe Zupo. Number 6, Joven Mann. Number 11, Emil Simovici. Number 12, Dalen Velius. Number 14, Lachlan Will. Number 17, Aaron Colburn. Number 18 is Joey Buchanan. Number 20 is Kyle Dent. And number 37, making his debut in League One for Burnaby FC, is Stuart Klenner. The officials for this one, the man in the middle is Mo Messeni. First assistant referee, Chris Harrop. Second assistant referee, Olin Metz. And the fourth official is David Di Pasquale. Now, this is a match with huge playoff implications for both teams. For Burnaby, they've got 4 games to go. They're sitting bottom of the table on 6 points. They need to win out if they have any hope of making the postseason, I would feel. They've got 1 win, 3 draws and 4 defeats from their 8 matches played. 14 goals for, 19 goals against is what has been their undoing. And they're taking on third placed Altitude, who have played 9 games. They've 2 to go after this, including a rearranged fixture between these two that got washed out at the start of June. Altitude on 15 points, 4 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. A win this afternoon puts Altitude top of the table as they battle not just for their first ever playoff position, but also a chance to represent League 1BC in the Canadian Championship next year. And what an occasion that would be for the North Shore side. Still a lot of football to get played after this game. They face what could be the crucial match against TSS Rovers on July 7th. And they can't look too far ahead past this one for that. This is the first ever meeting between the two sides. As I mentioned, the June 2nd game that was meant to go ahead at Kinsman Field in North Vancouver was washed out. So we'll see what these teams shape up against. Burnaby kicking off in their white jerseys and gold shorts with the gold numbers. They're going from left to right in this half. Altitude in the all black kit with the white numbers going from right to left in this first half. Officials just checking everything is good to go. Altitude have 7 players that have found the back of the net for them, the same as Burnaby. 5 different players with assists, 10 for the Burnaby side. Altitude are the second lowest scorers though in the league, but they have been so good defensively. 3 clean sheets from their 9 games so far. And when you consider the fact that they were blanked in 3 of their first 4 matches, and they had a 6-0 shellacking at the hands of TSS Rovers, this has been a tremendous turnaround for Fallybass's side from game 5 onwards, and they will be looking to make a big push. Carson Bushman-Dormand leading Altitude, 4 goals on the season. Atos Di Sequeira, the wily Brazilian, with 2 goals. Di Sequeira on the bench this afternoon. And Burnaby get the action underway. Lachlan Will kicking off. He leads the team with 4 goals. Asvin Chauhan has 3. Aaron Colburn leads the team on assists with 2. And it's been a tough first season for Todd May, and his side's a little bit short-handed this afternoon. A few players missing from injury and a few others through other commitments as well. So we'll see what this means for Todd May. They will battle to the very end of their first ever season. A lot of people, myself included, had them battling it out for a playoff spot. They are missing their talismanic Hamish Ogden this afternoon. He's got a hip injury. He is missing this one. They hope he will be good to go for the game against TSS on Friday. And it's Burnaby trying to get their first thing going. Kyle Dent, UBC Thunderbird player. It's a good mix of Thunderbirds and SFU players on this Burnaby side, along with number 18, Joey Buchanan, who is one of the players on this team that's come through the Burnaby FC BC SPL setup, but has signed a development deal with Vancouver FC, getting his minutes in League 1BC, and he's looked very good. You have to feel Afshin Gope may give him a call at some point once the League 1BC season ends, maybe give him his first minutes in the CPL. Altitude though are playing as a team full of confidence right now, and they've got a couple of players missing as well. They've got a bit of a young bench, but some key personnel out for them. The number 10, Stasia Hale, has been in really good form the last few weeks. Watch out for him out here on the left wing. And the big player to watch is the number 7 for Altitude, Carson Bushman Dormand. He's got experience playing in Estonia, in Switzerland, in Germany, and also with York United last year in the CPL, looking for his next professional deal. And the way he's been playing this year, you feel some clubs will come knocking on the door sooner rather than later for Bushman Dormand. Some head tennis out there just now as Azamanu gets it forward to Shifley, tries to play that up the wing. Bushman Dormand in a foot race with the experienced Joe Zupo. He'll play it back to his keeper. Burnaby penned in to their corner flag at the moment, and Klenner, first chance to see him this year in League One. Player that has spent time over in Germany with SV09 Arnstadt. Has played with Victoria Highlanders in the past as well, and his college career at Thompson Rivers Wolfpack. We'll see what he can add to Todd May's side. Herbert. Oliver Herbert, 4 assists on the season for their former Whitecaps player. He has really been a catalyst in this midfield for Falibass's side. The UBC Thunderbird player in his college time. Mike Mosher will be certainly pleased with the contribution that Herbert has had. Burnaby just patiently moving around their back line just now, looking for some movement. Tipe with the clearance. Burnaby keeping it on. Will. Little touch inside there, looking for Dent. An important altitude foot in there. Herbert turns away well. There's a chance here for Sairub to thread that through, looking for a Hale, but broken up. Strange to see Sairub wearing the 18 this season. He wore the number 7 for Altitude in the first 2 years. Has just come back in to the team though after injury. Lachlan Will, little touch inside, making room for the shot. Gets the first shot of the afternoon off, and he's appealing for a deflection that didn't really test Luca Ortu at all, and just runs behind for a goal kick for the visitors. Altitude know how important a game this is for their post-season hopes. And they've been playing some nice football of late. Good chance here for Tinmouth. He goes for a goal and he finds the far corner. And 6 minutes in, Altitude, with their first real attack of the game, have the lead here. And it's Ambrose Tinmouth. A fantastic finish from Tinmouth. And Altitude get the early breakthrough. Tinmouth's second goal of the season now. And the men from the North Shore have an important breakthrough and foothold in this game. It's how dangerous this side is. It was the long ball forward from the centre-back, Hulk Tippe, that set that chance up for Tinmouth. That's Tippe's second assist of the season. And he's such a really good ball-playing centre-back, the big German. What do Burnaby have in response to that? Moving the ball well on the edge of the box. Tried to get threaded through to Will, who tucks it away with a flag up quickly on the near side for that through ball. Jovan Mann threading that one through nicely. In the last couple of games, we've seen Mann play a much more advanced role. Started this season playing in the DM position, but I think it's been a case of needs must for Todd May, and he's certainly featured Mann a little bit higher up, and it has reaped dividends. He's looked very good there. Whitecaps Academy alumni. And that's a dangerous ball whipped in. It's headed clear though by Tippe. Comes back in from Burnaby, and Ortu easily holds on to that one. The wind has certainly picked up again here at Burnaby. It was very warm at the start of the women's game, and the breeze has gradually picked up. There's some rain around as well, which might make this pitch a little bit slick, but feels ideal playing conditions out there right now. Klenner driving forward here for Burnaby. Little give and go there, gets the ball back. Klenner whips in a dangerous cross, and it's handed clear by Tip. Bushman Dorman now has a chance to bring this forward for Altitude. Touch outside to Aheo. Not a lot of numbers up here for Altitude, but the ball comes back to Bushman Dorman, forced wide by Zupo. And he tries to play that through for Herbert. Appeals for handball from Altitude there. Referee having none of that. And it's flashed high and over from Oliver Herbert. Still a lot of football obviously to be played in this game, but the lead for Altitude right now sees them sitting top of the L1BC standings. And it's a testament of all the hard work that Fally Bass and his coaching team and all these players have put in. It's a team that gels very well on the pitch and off it. They seem to enjoy each other's company. They enjoy being together as a team. And that's half the battle in a league like L1BC, where there's a lot of travel involved. If you don't like your teammates, you don't get on with your teammates, it's going to make for a very long season. And that's certainly not been a problem that Altitude have. As I mentioned, just 3 defeats and 3 blanks in their first 4 games, and then came storming back after that. And you want to hit form at the right time, and they've certainly done that. That's Mann. Sprays that ball out. Shavula in a battle there with Velios, and Shavula wins the battle. Doesn't see any clear channel to play that into, and Altitude will just recycle it over now to the other side, and Tip will try and get something going up the right. Marshall, Altitude just being patient there. That's a heavy challenge there from Buchanan right through the back of Herbert. Buchanan just wanting to put himself about a little bit there. He's going to have to watch though. Momosini won't let him get away with too many challenges like that. Burnaby just struggling to get the ball cleared there, and that's a misplay that's going to give Altitude a chance to get their first corner of the afternoon. They're going to send their big bodies up in the box here. Walters, Tip, Marshall, Bushman, Dormand all big targets here for Sairub to try and aim for. Referee just making sure everything is set. Sairub now sends it out swinger to the edge of the box. It's met well by Marshall and takes a bounce, but easily handled there by Mackay. Dent, little touch back there to Buchanan. We've seen Buchanan feature in a back three, but he's playing a more advanced role today for Todd May. Well, tries to get the cross in, but good block in the end by Tinmouth, and it's going to be out for a Burnaby throw-in. Buchanan lines up this shot, flashes a wild one there, and certainly had the power on it, just didn't have the direction at all, and no big test there for Luca Ortu. Altitude just slowing things down a little bit. They don't need to force anything. They've got that early breakthrough. They're sitting pretty just now as Herbert touches it out. They're also playing the better football right now as well, moving the ball very well out there. Bushman Dorman now. Got Ty Pound in front of him, forced to play that back to Herbert. Nice little through pass there to Marshall, or to Tinmouth. Loose ball breaks to Dorsman Burmond, and Sairub flashes the shot in, takes a deflection on the way through, and that's going to be out for another altitude corner. Sairub over on the far side now to take this one. Momiseni looking for some pushing and shoving in the box. Good delivery in from Sairub, but it's right onto Mackay, who commands the 6-yard box. Quickly gets on with it, rolls the ball out to man. Plays it up the right wing. It's a chance here for Buchanan to try and chase this down. Shavula backtracking quick to cut him down and tip over. Battling away there. Good play there by Altitude. I thought they had got a goal kick, and the referee agrees. The near side assistant referee did not, which was what was leading to the jumping around there from the two Altitude players, but Maseni agrees with me and the Altitude guys, and it is going to be a goal kick here for the North Shore visitors. 1 goal to the good. If you're just joining us 6 minutes in, Ambrose Tinmouth with his second of the season. Got onto a nice long ball forward from Hylk Tip. Had a lot of work to do, but did it well as he cut into the box and finished to the far corner. Or two, long ball forward, looking to try and get that to a Hale, but too many Burnaby bodies in the way. Klenner will now play this up the right wing. I think the hope was for Velius to try and chase that one down, but that was asking a lot from the former Whitecap. Dalen Velius, 22 now. Finished 4 years at Ohio State Buckeyes and had played for the Whitecaps in League One in the first 2 years. 11 games last year in the Whitecaps championship winning season. Making the move though to Burnaby. His youth was with Mountain United and South Burnaby Metro, so homecoming of sorts for Dale and Villiers. As a Manu quickly onto Samovici there. Trying to break it up with Burnaby. Keep hold of the ball. Man looked to try and switch it there, but Klenner wasn't making the run that he needed, so forced to play that one back, and then a bit of a heavy touch there from Pound. Lets it get away. No harm done though for Burnaby. Man got the ball there from Will. Tried to chip that forward for Dent, but big altitude boot clears the danger. Pound picks up the loose ball. Inside to Will. Will makes room for the shot. It's a clumsy challenge and it's a penalty for the home side. It's a clumsy challenge, as I said there, from Ali Azar Manu. And that was going to get given all day long. And a chance now for Burnaby to get back on level terms as we move into the 19th minute here at Burnaby Lake. Lachlan Will, Burnaby's leading scorer on the season. He's got 4 to his name so far. Can he make it 5 here against Luca Ortu, who we know is a good penalty shot stopper here? Will steps up, sticks it, and Ortu goes down to his left, and another big save from the altitude keeper. How costly a miss is that going to be for Burnaby, but full credit there to Luca Ortu. The 19-year-old was down playing with Rapallo in Italy this past season before making the return to altitude, where he spent the previous 2 League 1BC seasons. Bad injury for Ortu, derailed his progress a little bit in the towards the end of the 2022 season, but he's always impressed. He's such a good keeper, and you see what he means to this altitude side there with a big penalty stop, and that spurred altitude into life here. Bushman Dormand flicks that out to Teignmouth, who's really started to come in his own for altitude in the last few games. Teignmouth played last year for Harbourside in their inaugural season. The midfielder from Comox, who plays his college soccer with Guelph Griffins, and coming off a really good 2023 season with 3 goals and 7 assists from his 7 games played, and only 3 of those games were starts, so he can be very productive, can Ambrose Teignmouth, and he is the difference maker so far this afternoon in this game. Buchanan tries to get his way through 2 Burnaby players, still battling away Joey Buchanan, unfairly though according to the officials, and brings down Wiz Shavula. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us during the broadcast, we like to make these interactive. You can get in touch on Twitter, X if you want to be up to date with it, at AFTN Canada. Or if that is not your thing, you can get in touch on email at aftncanada@hotmail.com. We always love to hear from you during these broadcasts. Make them as interactive as we can if you want to chat about either of these 2 teams, this match, or the League 1BC season, and what is shaping up for an exciting post-season push. It's going to get tense. It's very tight at the top in League 1 just now, and it doesn't look like changing anytime soon. If Altitude hold on for the 3 points here, you feel it almost secures their first ever playoff spot with their 18 points. Harbourside sitting in 5th on 11 points. They've got 3 games left to play, so they can get a maximum of 20. Rivers and Burnaby struggling to make the playoffs. Still mathematically possible for both the teams to get in. Burnaby, though, really need to start racking up wins. They've got 3 games left after this one. They're sitting on 6 points. 15 points just now would get them into 4th. But Unity, with 2 games to go, can easily just rack up one more win and get ahead of them. So I said at the start, I feel Burnaby need 4 wins to close out their season to get into the playoffs for the first time in their first season. So they've got a lot of work to do this afternoon as we approach the midway point of the first half. Altitude have played the better football. They have the lead, and here's Sairub, touch inside to Aheo. Step, turns back Aheo, beautiful goal! Stasi Aheo! Take a bow! The number 10 for Altitude did everything right to make room for himself, fired off an absolute beauty, and Altitude have the 2-goal lead here in the 23rd minute. Stasi Aheo's 2nd goal of the season, and Altitude enjoying their afternoon over the Ironworkers Bridge here at Burnaby Lake. And Stasi Aheo has got that enemies, been such a interesting player for Altitude. Just watching that back on the stream there, beautiful finish there from Stasi Aheo. Sairub getting the assist as well, his first assist of the season. Aheo beating Mackay, all ends up with that shot, and Altitude, having survived a penalty scare just minutes before, go up the other end of the pitch and they make it 2-0. Stasi Aheo, as I mentioned, in his 3rd season in League One with Altitude. He's got goals every season that he's played for them. Just the one last year with the 1 assist, but he's coming off such a strong VMSL season here in the lower mainland with Croatia, where he led the team with 5 goals, and he's carried that good form into the L1BC campaign as well. Certainly has looked better every season, Stasi Aheo. Tip holding off Simovici, trying to get that up the pitch to Bushman Dormand. Little back flick from Will, his penalty miss could go down as one of the defining points of this game. Buchanan picks up the loose ball, little touch inside, Velius goes down in the box, and it's going to be another penalty coming up here. And what colour is the card going to be? It's just a yellow for Luca Ortu, as he brought down Deli Velius there. And in the 26th minute, it's a 2nd penalty of the afternoon. Will not taking this one. Joey Buchanan picking the ball up, but Jovan Mann now coming over to take this instead. Mann hasn't got on the score sheet this season yet for Burnaby. He'll hope to get his first League One goal for them, facing off against Luca Ortu. Ortu's already saved 1 penalty down to his left. This time he nearly gets it to the right, but Mann just has enough power on that. He gets under the keeper, and Burnaby are back in this one in the 27th minute. It's Burnaby 1, Altitude 2. Jovan Mann's first goal for Burnaby, and what an important one it could prove to be. That's a goal and an assist for Mann now in his first campaign. or I should say his first campaign for Burnaby, because he's featured in the previous 2 years with the Whitecaps in 2022 and also in 2023. Altitude came storming back after the first penalty, which was saved. Let's see if they can repeat the feat. Sairub, it's a great ball into the box, just a little bit too close to the on-rushing Mackay there, taken away from Teignmouth. That goal has certainly spurred on Burnaby now. Very entertaining match so far. We hope you are enjoying it wherever you're taking in the action on League 1BC YouTube channel. And we can catch up with all the latest scores in League 1BC Ontario and Alberta on the League 1 Canada app, available for free in Apple and Android stores. You can switch on notifications as well to make sure that you can get all the latest news as it happens across League 1 Canada. Hauk tip now. We know he's got a very long throw. Sends a bullet into the box over the head of Asamirzu. Aheo tries to bring that down unfairly though, using his hand as it went through, and that's going to run out and behind for a Burnaby goal kick. League 1BC would like to acknowledge the following league partners: CIBC, the lead partner of Canada Soccer, the Canadian Premier League and League 1 Canada. Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, refuel. The Cruyff Institute, educating athletes, sport and business professionals to become leaders in sport management. Derby Star, the official ball of the Canadian Premier League and preferred match ball for League 1 Canada. Macron, work hard, play harder. Vibrant Performance, Canada's most trusted brand for automotive race parts and accessories. The Canadian Premier League, where Canadian soccer takes flight. One Soccer, the home of soccer in Canada. And BC Soccer, encouraging us all to play, inspire and unite. And it's Altitude that are playing some inspired stuff so far this afternoon. Walters with a long free kick forward, just has too much on that, and that's just going to run behind for a Burnaby goal kick. That's going to bring up another free kick here for Altitude, and possibly the first booking of the afternoon, just the way Massini was whistling there. Maybe not. I think it's just going to be a talking to for Joven man. Sairub over again on free kick duties. Good movement in the box here. Sairub sends a dangerous one into the near post. It's headed out by Simon Vici, and the big clearance in the end by Colburn. Just had to get that anywhere. Burnaby telling their players to get out. Altitude though just keen to slow it down just now as we move into the last quarter of an hour of the first half here. It's been a very entertaining first 30 minutes here at Burnaby Lake, and it's the visitors with a 2-1 lead. A lead that has them for now at the top of the League 1BC standings. They only have one more match to play after this, and that is next Sunday in what is going to be an absolute belter of a match at Kinsman Field against TSS. Klenner, touch inside, looking there for Will. Zupo rising well to head that off before Aheo can get onto it. Nice ball forward there from Saurub to Herbert, who chips that into the path of Bushman Dormant. He brings it down so well. He's forced wide, plays it inside, looking for a hail, but a big boot from Zupo sends that up into the swirling wind that is out on that pitch right now. Altitude, get it back. Marshall, nice little touch inside Bushman Dormant. Shafula knocks it back to Saurub, who tries to loft that into the box. That's a bit of a misplay though in the back there for Burnaby. Allows Altitude to pick up the loose ball. Colburn with a sloppy one there and almost punished by Altitude. They keep hold of it though with Teignmouth. Teignmouth finds room to send the cross in. It's blocked by Simovici. Comes back out to Teignmouth. Tip now will send that in. It's fluffed out there and almost falls to Shavula. Buchanan just did not connect on that cross into the box there. And some sloppy play in the back here from Burnaby in the last minute, but they've got away with it and now they've got a chance to break forward. Taking off Will's foot superbly there though as Azar battling away. And Shavula, hesitation there from Velius, but he does win a free kick for his efforts there. Velius had just waited a little bit too long and Shavula was on him very quickly to head it clear, unfairly though, and went through the back. As we might be, I thought we were getting a ball change there. I was looking over at the fourth official. Momiseni telling Joverman to wait for the whistle here before this free kick is taken. Man sends the in-swinger into the box. It's met by a diving Joe Zupo as Walters just didn't initially connect on the header. And the Burnaby captain close to getting the side on level terms there. Fantastic header there from the veteran. One of the older players in the L1BC men's division. As this one comes through to Will in front of goal. He's closed down quickly though by Walters, who does well to not allow Will to get a shot off. Burnaby though pushing hard now, they're knocking at the door. So far, Altitude have had all the answers, and a sloppy foul given away there brings up a yellow card as well for Kyle Dent. And breaks up what was a very promising attack and a promising spell there from the home side. Nastasia Hale goes over to get some instructions from his head coach Fally Bass. As a Manu down still in the Altitude penalty box. It's been a good spell of pressure in the last couple of minutes. Since they've got that goal back, Burnaby playing with a renewed vigour out there.
In the 36th minute.
Or too high into that Burnaby have. It comes straight back though. Well, strong right, close it down. He's sandwiched there between Saurub and Marshall, and not sure which one of the two players got the yellow card there, but you heard the squish of Will between the two guys there and the clattering of everything as well, and Lachlan Will down in a bit of pain and a heap on the floor. I think the yellow card maybe went to Matthew Marshall. He was the one that was coming through the back. It's been given as a yellow to Saurub, but don't know that he knew too much about that. He was coming back. And the Altitude players are going to take this opportunity to get some water. Although the wind is out there, it is still a little bit hot at times. The wind is certainly cooling things down a little bit nicely. I'll use this as an opportunity as well to have a water break myself, as Will still down in a heap and in a lot of pain, it looks like, out there. Lachlan Will thankfully back on his feet there. That was quite a sickening sound from the collision there, and they're just making sure that everything is okay, doing all the concussion checks. He is such a key player for Todd May's side. They will not want to lose him, but obviously player safety comes first and foremost. And Will shaken but not stirred out there, and he's ready to carry on. Lachlan Will has spent time over in Germany playing pro with Wacker Norhausen. Played the 2021 League 1BC season as well with the Highlanders before heading off to Germany. And back this year playing for Burnaby, the West Van native. Have seen him play in the VMSL for a few years as well. Always been very impressed with Lachlan Will. And he's got 4 goals to his name so far this League One season. This afternoon though, he could have had a 5th. But a big penalty save from Luca Ortu, denying the chance to make it 1-1 at that point. And how costly could that prove to be for Todd May's side? They're fighting hard though to get Trine back on level terms in the closing minutes here of the first half. 6 minutes of the first half to go here at Burnaby Lake. Sairub brings the ball down, touching aside to Herbert. He turns away nicely to Sepp Shavula. First time pass into the running forward of Aheo. Herbert picks up the loose ball, turns away, gives it to Azar Manu, or Sairub. Sairub sent to the ground on the edge of the box. Referee Messeni not interested in that. And Burnaby just up the field trying to get something going. Well, doesn't look any worse for wear after that challenge. Still battling away out there. And Velius brought down by Azar Manu. That's going to bring up another free kick opportunity here for the home side. They've had mixed fortunes with the deliveries so far. This time, keeping it on the ground. Velius, though, immediately closed down by Shavula. With Shavula doing so well there. And Altitude come away with it. Sairub spins away, plays the ball forward to Bushman Dormand. Little flick in forward, looking for Tinmouth. Supo over quickly to deal with that danger. Burnaby will get at the other end. Diagonal ball looking to try and play in. Velius only finding the head of Marshall, and it's going to go out for a Burnaby throw-in. A little bit of rain starting to come down here at Burnaby Lake. Pound plays out up the left wing for Mann. Not only does he keep it in, gets past Tip, but Tip recovers well. As Zupo just muscles Bushman Dorman off the ball to get to that first quick throw in, taken though by Altitude. Samavic just lets that one run away from him, and again Altitude break it up and they'll just play it back, regroup, resettle, and take their time getting something going forward here themselves. Sairub turns away, no shout there of man on, which you had to do, but Buchanan goes through the back of Sairub. And Altitude just get on with this free kick. Walters now. No space in any of the channels. Altitude will just take their time, not try and force anything. They've got the lead. And Pound cuts out that attempted ball forward. Can't keep it in though. He's taken off his foot and now Altitude. Try to get on with it quickly. Tip waits. And the German throws a big one forward. Loose ball. Picked up now by Sairub. Touch inside to Azarmanu. Nice little touch inside from him to Herbert. Out to Shavula. Cuts it back inside, looking for Hale, who goes down in the box. It was a slip more than a challenge, and that's just going to run behind. But again, some good movement from Altitude. They're playing the patience game very well this afternoon. Not forcing anything, just taking their time. And they've been really good at the little touches inside. There always seems to be a teammate there in the right place for them. Into the last 2 minutes of the first half. We'll get a bit of time added on for that injury treatment to Lachlan Will. Walters just sends that high up into the air. Shavula gets his head to it, but Altitude can't keep hold of it. Klenner, he's got room now to drive forward. Up the wing to Velez. Those two have linked up well in the first half here. Klenner in his first appearance for Burnaby, the 22-year-old. Mann and Colburn standing over this free kick for the home side. Last minute of regulation here in the first half. Burnaby pushing to try and go into the break on level terms. It's going to be Colburn that's going to send this one in. It's an in-swinger. Messeni not happy with something there, and the flag also up as well, so I'm not sure if that was for a push or for offside, but the whistle came very quickly there from referee Mo Messeni. And Altitude will breathe a big sigh of relief. Long ball forward, looking to try and get to Will, but that's just going to take a bounce and run through to Luca Ortu. Altitude survived this good spell of pressure from Burnaby. It's been a very up and down season for the new kids on the block. They've got such talent there as a long range effort comes in. The wind is certainly behind Burnaby just now. It's blowing. It's kind of swirling, but it's also kind of blowing from left to right as well. It's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly where it is just now, but you may as well have some shots fired in. And that's exactly what Jovan Mann did there. He is the scorer this afternoon of the only goal for Burnaby, coming from the spot in the 27th minute. Moved into stoppage time here in the first half. Pound heads that throw in away. It's cleared, but only as far as Sairub. Makes room for the shot, flashes one in, but can't get the direction on it. And that's just going to nestle into the... not sure what you'd call that. Behind the goal, the black tarps. Let's just go with that. That's a long ball forward looking for Will. Marshall over to try and usher this out, and good play there from Matthew Marshall. Cheeky little back heel to put that one out. Joe Buchanan trying to get something going there, but closed down very quickly by the altitude defenders. Probably going to have one last chance here to get something going. It's going to be a long throw in from Velius. He's looking for some movement. Buchanan turns away. Seemed to be a hand maybe as it came through there, but cleared by Marshall, and this probably will now be the last chance of the first half for Burnaby to go in on level terms. Aaron Colburn over to take this one. 22-year-old SFU player, 3 seasons under his belt now with the Red Leafs. Can he find a pinpoint delivery here? Colburn deep into the back of the altitude box, off the head there of Den, into the arms of Ortu. Gets clattered as well by Joey Buchanan. That's not the first time Buchanan's gone through someone this afternoon, and Momaseni has seen enough, and he's going to bring out the yellow card. Altitude players rightly not happy with that. Buchanan's, I mean, I do like players that show a bit of grit, have a bit of bite to them, but Buchanan's going to have to watch himself now. And Shavula also getting a yellow card for squaring up to Buchanan after that challenge, but Buchanan's going to have to watch. He's had a couple of heavy challenges, and you do wonder if he's going to see this one out. Lachlan Will just having a word with a big 18-year-old. And Buchanan looks a frustrated figure out there. It's going to be a free kick coming up for Altitude, which probably is going to be the last action of the first half here. In fact, Momasini not even letting Luca Ortu get onto it. Half-time whistle goes here at Burnaby Lake, and it's a 2-1 lead for the visitors. Altitude going in with a 1-goal advantage. Ambrose Tinmouth gave them the lead in the 6th minute. Stasio Heo, a beautiful finish in the 24th minute. Jovan Mann pulled one back 3 minutes later from the spot. And that is how we go in to the half. It's going to be a cracking second half. Go and stick the kettle on, grab your biscuit of choice, and join us in 15 minutes for the second half of this one at Burnaby Lake.
right where the 18-yard box is.
When are you bringing the 18 boys out?
At halftime.
Like now or later?
Scholarship right now.
Right now.
The scholarship winners, and then the 07s, and then the 18s.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Burnaby Lake. It's an exciting men's division game of the week between Altitude and Burnaby. And it's the visitors from the North Shore that hold the slender 2-1 lead just now. But we should be in for an absolute cracking second half here. There has been one substitution. It looks like Sairub has made way for Altitude. And coming on, I will just try and work that out. I want to say it's Bernardo Eloz. It looks like it is, yep, the number 24, Bernardo Eloz, who is now on the ball for Altitude. He was injured in 2023, just made his return to Altitude in the last couple of weeks. 13 games played in League One for Altitude last year. 6 back in 2022. Playing against some of his future teammates as well, because Bernardo Eloz had been with McMaster Marauders, then that injury derailed his college career and he's making the switch to SFU Red Leafs for the 2024 season. And it's been a weird afternoon of weather here at Burnaby Lake. We've had the sun out, it's been sweltering and 20 odd degrees, then the wind's picked up, there's a little bit of rain in the air. But right now it looks like it's perfect conditions for football out there, and Altitude looking to hold on to what would be a massive 3 points for them, and would all but secure their first ever playoff place. Still not mathematically secured. That is their primary goal, is to get into that top 4, nail down that playoff place. Then if they can get in the top 2 and get a home playoff game, and then the icing on the cake would be to secure the L1BC Canadian Championship spot for 2025. There's a lot of ifs, buts and maybes for that to happen though. But right now, all that really matters is Altitude have the 2-1 lead. I'm your match commentator, Michael McCall. If you want to get in touch with us during the broadcast, you can do so on X at AFTN Canada, or shoot us an email, aftncanada@hotmail.com. Always love to hear from you. Make these broadcasts interactive. If you want to chat about this game or what is a very exciting League 1BC season. Still a lot of football to be played before the championship game on August 4th. Well, Altitude perhaps feature in that. They are the form team just now in League 1 as Shavula sends a ball in, takes a touch off the defender and out. And Oliver Herbert will be over to take this corner. It's a dangerous in-swinger. Mackay comes through the traffic to punch it clear. Altitude pick up the loose ball. Tinmouth out to Herbert. He sends another dangerous ball into the head of Azar Manu. And he can't direct that on target. It's just wide. Ali Azar Manu close to restoring the 2-goal lead for Altitude. Burnaby though, straight back at it. Comes off the head of Tippy into the path of Kyle Dent. Marshall back, doing enough to put off Dent. Dent still has it, gets the shot in, and it's cleared off the line this time by Azar Manu, who has got back. Kyle Dent did everything he could there, got the ball away from Luca Ortu, make room for the shot, but Azar Manu had got himself back in a huge goal line clearance from the Iranian, and then it takes a deflection out and it's going to be behind for a goal kick for Altitude. Fast-paced start to the second half here at Burnaby Lake, and we should be in for an absolute cracking 45 minutes here. Burnaby fighting to try and give themselves any hope of getting into the top 4. Out tip over. Another big throw in forward from the German. You can see a few players slipping out there. There has been some rain in the air and it has made it a bit of a slick surface. Which should have one game of the regular season remaining after this. It comes next Sunday at Kinsman Field as TSS Rovers come to town, and that's going to have huge implications for the playoffs on both the men and the women's side. No stream for that one as of now, so you want to make sure you get out and take that game in at Kinsman next weekend. Aheo battling to get room. Nice little flick inside there from Aheo, looking to try and get that to Bushman Dorman, but Zupo more than a match. Coburn sends it up the wing to Dent. It comes straight back though to Tinmouth. Touch inside to Herbert. Tries to make room for the shot, but Zupo again with a big challenge there for Burnaby. Shavula now as Out should move it out to the left. Back to Herbert. This time he will get the shot off, but he gets way too much on that, and that is high and over for Altitude. And Walters taking no chances there with the dangerous Lackland Mill. Puts that one out for a throw and quickly taken by Burnaby.
I really want to respond back to the screenshot and be like,
Zupo plays it out. Now here is a chance. It's cut inside for Simovici, and a big block there from Azar Manu. What a second half he is having. Velius with a cut back there. And Simovici with a swinging leg runs all the way through to Ortu. And he'll just slow things down, take his time as Will tries to get a foot in to poke that clear.
should I just screen cap you?
Tip little give and go with Tinmouth. Bushman Dormant. Flicked up to Aheo, who knew he was offside, but there was no one else about, so he may as well have gone for it just in case, but the flag up very quickly, and Burnaby on with it very quickly. Ty Pound now, out to Colburn. Nice first timer inside to Simovici. He's getting pressurised by Aheo. Simovici turns away. Touch back to Colburn. Says good play by Burnaby. Quick, fast interpassing, but just a little bit too heavy from Colburn there. Didn't really give Dent a lot of time. No changes for Todd May yet through the first 53 minutes here. He has all his subs warming up. A couple of familiar faces on the bench and a couple of new ones as well, which we'll come to maybe as and when they may come on. Coburn looking for some movement. He's not finding any. He's looking for someone to play this ball to and eventually plays it forward to Will. But it's cut out by Altitude. Again, some neat little passing interplays there, but just taken off the foot of Herbert there by Klenner. Stuart Klenner making his League One debut for Burnaby this afternoon. Has had a good showing so far. Has a heavy challenge there for Azamanu, and that's going to bring the card up. As Momi saying with a smile, it's only going to go one way there as Azamanu cleaned out Kyle Dent right in front of us here. Sure, the camera got a very good view of that. A few players on yellow now that may have to watch themselves out there. Ali Azamanu is a tough tackling player, the defender from Iran. And you do wonder, they may need to maybe switch him out now that he's on a yellow card, but he has been so good this afternoon for Altitude. Supo up the wing to Velius, touch outside. Tip heads it clear. Only as far as Dent. He's forced wide though by Tinmouth. Could do with a little bit of help. Finds it in Colburn. Good delivery onto the head of Lachlan. Well, he can't direct his header down. It's high and over from the big forward. Anywhere on target there, and you feel that could have been the equaliser for Burnaby. Todd May will be happy with the reaction he's seen from his side after the restart here. Well, it does look to be some activity on the Burnaby bench, so we may get some fresh faces on soon for the home team. Shavula now gives it inside to Herbert. He is the man that's been making this midfield tick for Altitude in the last few weeks. Oliver Herbert, 4 assists on the season. Can he add to that this afternoon? Turns away, trying to make room. Turns back inside. Still Herbert going. Little touch inside to O'Hale, who shields that well. Shavula crosses it back in for Herbert, who's made the run. It's punched off his head, but it's tucked home at the far post. Ambrose Tinmouth with his second of the afternoon. And in the 57th minute here at Burnaby Lake, Altitude restore their 2-goal lead. And Ambrose Tinmouth did so well to get onto that. Mackay had punched it away off the head there of Herbert as he looked poised to head that home. And Altitude find the back of the net once again. And for Ambrose Tinmouth, 2 goals this afternoon, 3 now on the season for the former Harbourside player. And Altitude in dreamland here at Burnaby Lake. Against the run of play, you've got to say as well, Burnaby's made more of the running in this second half, and just as Todd May was going to make some substitutions as well, it looks like it's going to be a triple sub now coming up by Burnaby. Tinmouth, touch inside to Eloz. Now goals revitalised. Altitude here. They feel they could get more, and you've got to remember goal difference could still come into play. And for Altitude, they went down to that big 6-0 loss to TSS in week 4. Unbeaten since then, and they really could do with putting a few goals up this afternoon if they can to help that goal difference a little bit. A heel, cheeky little back heel into the path of Tinmouth. Cuts inside, can't get the shot off, just overplays that pass. It went between Ahale and Eloz. But that one cut out by Marshall. Altitude back at it, Ahale. Out to Bushman Dormand. He's had a very quiet afternoon, Bushman Dormand. They've done well at negating him, but we know he can burst into life at any moment, and the danger that he can be. Ahale skips into the box, dances past Colburn, hits the byline. Colburn, an important foot in. Ahale recovers though. Back to Eloz, who sends a dangerous ball into Shavula! And his header, from my initial angle, looked at that was a lot closer than it ended up being. And he just bounces and wide, and this will now give the chance for Burnaby to make their triple substitution. Going off is number 12, Dylan Velius. Coming on is number 10, Emiliano Brienza. Lachlan Will and Joey Buchanan also making way here for Burnaby. Joey Buchanan makes sense on a yellow card for sure. We'll see who else has come on. Arjun Mann, the number 9, on for Burnaby. And number 36, Luke Norman. We know well from his time with the Whitecaps in the last couple of seasons and, of course, at UBC. That's 3 very attack-minded subs there by Todd May. Luke Norman making his League 1BC debut this season. Picked by Vancouver FC in the 2024 CPL draft. Hasn't really been in the mix for them, and they seem to have cooled a little bit on Luke Norman. I'm sure he's wanting to show what they've maybe missed out on. He's got half an hour here to try and stamp his mark on this game. Arjun Mann, the number 9 that's come on as well, will add some spark on the ball. Just now sends it to the far post. Looking for Mann, in the middle there, and just inches away from the big striker connecting on. Arjun Mann's already got a couple of goals to his name this season.
Burnaby FC substitution in the 60th minute. Coming into the game, number 9, Arjun Mann. Coming out of the game, number 14, Lachlan Will.
We're past the hour mark now, less than half an hour this one to go. It's a 2-goal lead for Altitude. They're doing everything they needed to. Here's Brienza, he's got 2 goals on the season. Started strong, got a goal in the first game for Burnaby, got an injury in the second game, only recently came back. Here's Bushman Dorman at the other end, tries to play that inside, looking for a Hale. Klenner struggling to get the ball out of his feet there, but eventually recovers and gets it out as a Hale was putting him under pressure. We're going to be for an end-to-end encounter now, you feel, in the closing 28 minutes here. Ball just runs out. He's going to bring up a throw in here for the visitors. Tip over to take it as he is for all the throw-ins on this side. It's going to be another long one forward from the German. When you see it close up like that, it's a thing of beauty, his throwing technique, you've got to say. Been playing in VMSL with Reno's Fury this past season. 25-year-old has spent time with Söderberg, Union Bevensen and MTV Romstedt in Germany before moving over to Canada. Arjun Mann now in the corner and tip in front of him. Being put under pressure, still gets the cross in, it bounces up, hits off the hand though of Kyle Dent. Too big. Altitude calls for the handball. Messini agrees, and it's going to be a free kick to Altitude, which will break things up, calm things down for the North Shore side, and they'll get a chance to regroup, slow things down, and ease the pressure on that back line. Burnaby, good start to the second half. Lost that third goal against their run of play, and it's kind of been the story of their season. They've played some nice football over the course of the season, Burnaby. They've maybe just not got the breaks that they've needed. They've been given goals up at the back, and it's a very talented Burnaby side, and for whatever reason they just haven't seemed to really gel. But we know what a potent force they can be. Our last featured game that we did here at Burnaby Lake, they trailed 3-0 before a stunning 5 unanswered goals gave them the 5-3 victory over Rivers. That was their first and only win of the season, and you thought the tide had turned for Burnaby then, but it hasn't proved to be the case. Burnaby travel to Swangard on Friday night to take on TSS. That will be another featured game that we'll have on the League One YouTube channel before going to play the Whitecaps the following weekend, and then wrapping things up on the 20th with the postponed game that was at Kinsman. Altitude, I was forgetting, have still got their 2 games left because they have got that postponed game against Burnaby, so ignore everything I said about them just having the 1 game left, but they very much need to get the win here to keep the pressure on TSS and the Whitecaps at the top of the table. It's a loose one. It's picked up by Norman. We know how deadly he is in those circumstances and altitude. Big boot from Tip gets it out of the box. Aheo now. Little shove in the back from Zuppel brings up the free kick as well. Burnaby giving a lot of room out on this right side to Tinmouth, who already has 2 goals to his name, and you would think he's a player that they don't want to give that much space up to here if they can get the right ball over the top here to play him in once again. We've already seen 1 hat-trick this afternoon in the women's game. Shania Dinza getting 3 goals for Burnaby in their big 5-0 victory over Altitude. Right now it's looking like Altitude are going to get revenge in the men's game. Tip up to Tinmouth. Lovely knock away there from Colburn. Makes room for himself. Plays it inside to Bushman Dormand. He can't get the shot off, closed down quickly there by Colburn. Comes back out to Tinmouth. He goes one way, the ball goes the other. Shavula battling away as the rain comes down a bit heavier now here at Burnaby Lake. Good challenge there by Eloz to keep that one alive. Aheo tussling with Simovici, got a knock to the face there, just purely accidental, but goes down in a bit of pain from that one from Aheo as we move past the midway point now of the second half here at Burnaby Lake into the final quarter of this match. It's a 3-1 lead to the visitors, and Burnaby are going to need to do something special to get themselves back into this one. Burnaby moving it out now to the left side, where they have had a bit of success in this second half, and it's Colburn flicks it away from Tinmouth. He's forced back though, and a long ball forward there from Pound, looking to try and play in Dent, but that was asking a lot for Kyle Dent to try and keep that one in. Falibas just made the 1 substitution so far, which Bernardo Eloz was coming on at half time. Some interesting stories on the bench for both these sides that hopefully we We'll get the chance to tell you before this one is out. Bushman Dorman dispossesses Pound, goes for the shot. High and just over the bar there from Bushman Dormant.
What are you doing over there?
Zupo now will try and bring this one out. He has been solid as a rock at the back, as he is so often this year. Norman touched inside now. Dent battling away at the edge of the box. The decision goes the way of altitude as the rain comes down a little bit heavier here at Burnaby Lake. Just adjust the camera a little bit. Orta, big kick forward onto the head of Zupo though, commanding his space once again. Man plays it back to the other man. And it's switched now over to the right by Burnaby. Norman has gone wide here. Two altitude players around him, didn't have a lot of options. Wins himself the throw in there, but might have been the best he could have done in that situation. As Brienza battling away, touch inside to Norman. So altitude is going to come away with it, and here's Bushman Dorman. He's got a chance to power forward here. Pound the only one in his way, but he's forced wide. Needed a little bit quicker support there. Now the numbers are coming forward here though for altitude. They'll just slow things down there. Bushman Dormant almost with a chance to get in on goal. We've seen him do that a couple of times so far this season. Herbert wins that battle in the midfield, gets the rebound as well. Shavula, touch inside. Back to Herbert. Can't get himself clear, but Illows now has time to try and pick out the pass. Idea was right, but the delivery wasn't where Teignmouth wanted it to be. As we get another Burnaby substitution now, and making way is the only goal scorer so far this afternoon for Burnaby, Jovan Mann, scoring the 27th minute. From the spot, coming on is number 25, Justin George. 18-year-old forward who plays his football at youth level for Burnaby FC in the BC SPL.
Substitution coming into the game.
George can play as a midfielder or as a forward. Part of the Burnaby FC side that won both provincials and nationals last year under head coach Todd May. And that's one of the things that Burnaby FC have got really going for them. They've got a good crop of youth talent coming through, and the fact they have this pathway now as well, you can see that parents will look at this as a good option for their sons or daughters, because there is a pathway to pro. The semi-pro team here having mixed fortunes on the men and the women's side, but a very good setup run by everyone here at Burnaby FC. That's Norman. Twists and turns himself away, plays it inside to Brienza. Brienza gets the ball back. Norman, a little bit too fancy in the end there from Luke Norman. That ball's just going to run away and out for another altitude goal kick. Fally Bass not turning to his bench yet. We've seen this in a couple of games where they've had the lead. makes late substitutions just to run the clock down in the closing minutes. Whilst the game is still at 3-1, it is still finely balanced here. A goal for Burnaby would set up a grandstand finish. They have to get the next goal, and they have to get it soon as well. Or two. Good kick forward there from the big keeper. Bushman Dormant inside to Tip, who's found himself up, and it's a goal for Hauk Tip. The centre back has found himself in the right place at the right time in the other box, and in the 75th minute it's Burnaby 1, Altitude 4, as Hauk Tip gets his first goal in League 1 BC. He got one in the VMSL as well, and that was great play by Bushman Dorman to set that chance up. A first assist of the season for Carson Bushman Dorman. And that should put the game to bed now for Altitude. That goal, not as much against the run of play as perhaps the third one was, but Burnaby just have not been able to find the penetration they need in the final third. And it'll be interesting to see what fight they have left in them now. Brienza chips that out to Kyle Dent. And some frustrations almost boiling over there as Tip and Man and Brienza just wanting to get on with that quickly, but called back by referee Momasini, who wasn't watching the play, was still dealing with the previous little altercation. And we're going to get our first Altitude substitution now. With Shavula making way, Atos Di Sakera coming on for Altitude. 2 goals on the season so far for Di Sakera, the Brazilian fleet of foot, and is going to be a real threat to Burnaby in the closing minutes here. Probably one of the last players you would want to see coming on when you're chasing a 3-goal deficit. Atos Di Sakera will certainly hold the play up. He links up so well with Bushman Dorman as well, so expect fireworks in the last 15 minutes here from Altitude as they push for more goals to help this goal difference. 2 games to go for Altitude after this one. Another game against Burnaby on July 20th. We'll have that as a game of the week. And then next Sunday, as I mentioned, at Kinsman Field, it's the big one, TSS Rovers. Huge game. A hail now. Little touch in the outside to Bushman Dormant. Altitude still pushing for more here. Tip up the wing looking for Teignmouth. It's cut out though by Burnaby. That's a loose one, almost pounced upon by Herbert. Ty Pound plays it back. Zupo now looking for some kind of movement. Misplaced pass there from Zupo. It's going to allow a hail. That's a beautiful ball forward for Di Sakera to try and get onto, but coming back well there was Klenner. Samavici ball forward looking for Mann. Only finds the head of Walters though. Mann picks up the rebound. Tries to play it back to Brienza, and the loose ball now picked up again by Altitude. They've been very good at doing that this afternoon. Di Sakera now, through ball here for Raheo. He's going to have to do this all on his own. He has no one else up. Di Sakera though making the overlapping run, and Raheo doing well to get a corner for his side there. I'm not sure he could have done too much more. But that's something Burnaby's going to have to watch in the last 10 minutes here. Aheo, Bushman, Dormand and Di Sakera have pace to burn out there. And as Burnaby push forward looking for goals, they're just going to leave themselves short at the back, and if they do that, they are going to get punished by this very fast and dangerous Altitude side. For now, it's going to be a corner for the North Shore lads. Herbert over to take this one. Dangerously onto the head of Tip, looking for his second goal of the afternoon. He's already got a goal and an assist, Hauk Tip. Another fantastic performance out there from the big German. Mann shields up well, turns away from Walters. He's got Dent up the wing, little give and go, back to Arjun Mann. Trying to skip his way clear, battling away with Azar Manu. He's going to have to watch, he is on a yellow card. Azar Manu does so well to recover there. Now a little back heel and up the wing from Hauk Tip. A heel picks up, puts on a burst of speed and brought down by Emil Simovici, and that's going to bring out another yellow card from referee Masseni. And it's a second of the afternoon, possibly for Simovici. No, it's not. I thought it was the way that he was going to his top pocket there, the referee, and Simovici was like, I've only been booked once, and that has been the case. As we get another substitution coming up here for Burnaby. Making way is going to be number 17, Aaron Colburn. Coming on is number 32, Rio Yassin. Rio Yassin, another one of the young BCSPL players from Burnaby FC, the 17-year-old. This Altitude keep pushing here. Yassin down, I have him down as a 17-year-old centre back, but he's down on the app as a forward, so I don't know, we'll see where he slots in out there. Another one of the Burnaby FC youth players that won provincials and nationals with this BFC talented group last year. So the future might look very positive for Burnaby. The present not so much, as they are down 4-1 here at Burnaby Lake. Last 7 minutes of regulation. Arjun Mann feels that that decision should have gone in his favour, and instead it goes against him, and it's going to bring a free kick up for Altitude deep in their own half. Ortu's just going to send this one high and forward. Nearly flicked on there by Tinmouth. Yassin doing well to get his head to that. His first action of the game since coming on. Di Sakera flicks that into the path of Aheo. Can he keep it in? No, he can. It just runs behind. It's going to be out for a Burnaby goal kick. Quickly taken by Bennett Mackay. They're sending numbers forward. Good to see their heads haven't dipped, and they are still pushing hard out there. As Luke Norman back in a very deep role just now for Burnaby. Gets the ball back in the middle of the field. Tries to play that forward to man. It's well read by Tip. And here goes Tip again, storming forward. Touch to the outside here for Di Sakera. He's closed down very fast there by Klenner. And a little shove in the back goes the way against Di Sakera. As we get another Burnaby substitution here. No, it's an altitude substitution, sorry. Going off is number 19, Ambrose Tinmouth. 2 goals in the afternoon for Tinmouth. Coming on, making his second appearance of the season is Raphael George. Back with the team after being away for injury. Played the previous 2 years in League 1BC. Another German on the pitch, interestingly enough, for altitude. I won't mention anything about Germany in the Euros because I haven't watched it yet. I've PVR'd that as we do the game, so I've got that to enjoy when I go home. So I don't know if the players are happy or not at how their national team performed this afternoon. I guess we'll find out. Just now though, it's Simovici on the ball, high into the back of the box. Flicked on there by Justin George, but he can't get it to a teammate and it will just run behind.
10-minute voice note from Catherine. I almost did that.
86th minute. So around this time we like to give our unofficial AFTN players of the game. And for Burnaby, have to give that to Big Joe Zuppo. I know he's been on a defence that's let 4 goals in, but he's been really solid back there and dealt with so much that's been thrown at him. And on the ball just now, poking it forward to Arjun Man, who's in a tussle there with Nathan Walters. Decision goes against Walters, and that's going to bring a free kick up. Quickly taken. Simovici inside to Brienza. Back to Brienza, sends that one in. Walters doesn't fully connect on it. And Tip with the long ball forward looking for Di Sakera as the rain comes down a lot heavier now at Burnaby Lake. So yeah, Joe Zuppo is my Burnaby player of the game. For altitude, obviously there's a few good contenders out there. 2 goal. Ambrose Tinmouth is in the mix. Ali Azarmanu as well has had a very strong performance, dealing with everything at the back for altitude. But I'm going to give my AFTN player of the game to the number 95, the big German Hauk Tip. A goal and an assist this afternoon, and a commanding defensive display as well, as George tries to play that one into the head of Herbert, but Mackay quickly off his line to deal with that. Burnaby still looking for some consolation here late in the game, bringing the ball forward. Yassine. Cowdent plays that inside, and Burnaby moving the ball around well. Altitude giving them a lot of space out there as the dangerous ball comes in, and clattered by Arjun Man is Luca Ortu. And he's face down in the turf out there. Referee going to have a word with Arjun Man after that challenge. As we get another 2 substitutions coming up here for altitude. Going off is Stasi Iheo, the scorer of the second goal for altitude. Oliver Herbert making way as well. Elliot Riches, the number 14, coming on. And number 31 for altitude coming on as well, Caleb Voth. I mentioned there was a couple of good stories on the benches today, one for each side. Haven't got to tell the Burnaby one yet, which hopefully we can maybe get to. But the number 31, Caleb Voth, that has come on just now, very highly thought of player, 17-year-old, plays a forward position, can also play in the midfield as well. Part of FC Fally Blues, and they won the 2024 VMSL Under-21 title and the Under-21 BC Challenge Cup as well. Made his debut against Harbourside on the 25th of May in stoppage time, getting a little bit extra minutes this afternoon as well, but he's been part of the Nike team Elite 11 Canada selection at the Surf Cup in San Diego last year as well. So a highly thought of youth player that's come through the FC Fally system. Elliot Rich's nice little back flick there to Caleb Voth. Rich is another Fally Academy product as well. Played for Altitude in the 2022 season. Minimum of 4 minutes of time to get added on here, as Burnaby pushing to try and make the scoreline a little bit more respectable. Altitude will just be happy to try and slow things down. Just see out these closing minutes. If they can keep it as a 3-goal lead, they'll be happy enough with that. If they can add to it to boost their goal difference in the closing minutes here, they'll be even happier with that. And we're going to get another substitution now, and making his way off is the man of the match, from my point of view, Hauk Tip. And coming on is number 21, Mark Webster. Sorry, I thought they'd put up 25 there. I was confused because I didn't have that list on my thing. But Mark Webster, 24-year-old centre-back from Edmonton. Spoken about the whole German connections on this Altitude side. Mark Webster, that's come on, has a year in Germany training with FC Köln and SPVG Frechen. Came through the Edmonton youth ranks at Scottish United. How can you not like someone that's come through a team called Scottish? And Altitude now looking to see if they can add to their tally here. They've added 3 goals to their goal difference tally in the positive column this afternoon. Can they add another one? Oh, what a goal from Carson Bushman-Dormand! The minute that left his foot, you saw that curling into the net, and that beat Bennett Mackay all ends up there. And he's mobbed by his teammates on the far side. 3 minutes into stoppage time here at Burnaby Lake, and the goal of the afternoon, Carson Bushman-Dormand, his 5th of the season, and he's not going to score a better one than that. A stunning free kick. Burnaby women put up 5 in the first game. The men concede 5 in this one. And that was an absolute peach by Bushman-Dormand. You didn't need any commentary on that. Just watch that. The camera angle was absolutely perfect for that. You just saw that curl all the way in. And the minute that left his foot, you knew that was nestling in the back of the net. The 21-year-old spoke about how he's had stints over in Europe, in Switzerland, Estonia and Germany. He's looking for his next pro deal. You just have to stick that goal on a highlight reel, and that will get some coaches' attention. Team leader with 5 goals, Carson Bushman-Dormand. And how crucial could that goal be in the grand scheme of things? Still pushing for more though. George tries to play that inside to Rich. His rebound comes back to George. Cuts it back to Ellos, who saw the goal gaping there. And that's the last action of this one at Burnaby Lake. And it finishes a Burnaby FC 1, Altitude 5. A big 5-star performance from the North Shore boys. They opened the scoring, Ambrose Teignmouth in the 6th minute. Stasio Hale made it 2 in the 24th. Jovan Mann pulled one back from the spot in the 27th minute. That's how it stood at half-time. Teignmouth got his second of the game in the 57th. Tip made it 4-1 with 15 minutes remaining and 3 minutes into stoppage time. The goal of the game, Carson Bushman Dormond, a stunning free kick. And that is how it ends here at Burnaby Lake. A big 5-1 victory for Altitude. They are now top of the League 1BC standings. Can they stay there to the end of the season? They've almost booked a playoff spot. Now they'll be wanting more. I've been Michael McCall. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. We'll have another Game of the Week next Friday coming from Swangard as TSS Rovers host Burnaby. I'll have the call for that one. If you join us for that, we'll see you then. If not, we'll catch you at the pitch again soon. Thank you for watching and supporting League 1BC.